Two.
You don't want to play something? Okay, whatever.
Yo, what's up, ladies and gents, boys and girls? Your boy, TheDreadMan, is back with the DreadMan Sports Podcast. I'm your host, TheDreadMan Thomas, and I'm here with my boys, Walter, Tom, and Flip. Say what's up, guys.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
All right, we're good. Sure, it's good to have everybody back, man. And this is a wild week. And before we get into our review of last week, let's talk about like the suspensions and the fines and the ejections and the brutal hits that have gone on this past week. You know, first off, I mean, the thing is, these only seem to happen in the divisional games. Like Rob Gronkowski's hit, I mean, his late hit. I mean, the thing is, I believe that a fine was necessary. I believe that he should have been fined for that, but I think that a 1-game suspension was kind of excessive because neither one of those guys really came out seriously hurt or injured. But I digress. What do you guys think?
Well, didn't the guy got a concussion though, right?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he had a concussion.
Yeah, I think one of them got injured, the Bills guy.
Oh wow, well yeah. I mean, if it did result in an injury, that changes the whole game because you know he did. I mean, like if that really does warrant a suspension if it ended in a serious injury.
But my problem with the Gronk one is the play was already over, and you see him, he gets pissed off, and then just like gives this dude the people's elbow, and then you're like right in front of everybody, and then it was kind of like okay, that's kind of BS. The Juju one, that was during the play, so it's like that's acceptable. I wasn't tripping on that one.
Yeah, I wasn't tripping on the Juju one either because that was like Chris said during the play. Even though it's kind of like a blindside hit, it's still kind of a football play. It's not like it's not he had to go out of his way to hurt the guy. Whereas Gronk, literally the guy's on the ground, defenseless, not even facing you, and Gronk had to literally wind up and then drop his body on that guy. So yeah. I didn't have a problem with Juju's play, but Gronk's was just really kind of a little sick to watch a little bit, and especially because the guy got a concussion afterwards. It was just kind of messed up.
Yeah, I mean, the Gronk hit was unnecessary. I mean, the thing is, like, I thought it was unnecessary because I thought that the guy, you know, didn't get injured, but it turns out, you know, he did get injured, and like let's go now as far as the Juju Smith hit on Vontaze Burfict. Now, Vontaze Burfict around the league has this reputation of a bully and a dirty player. And Juju, he took a page out of Hines Ward's book and laid the damn wood to him. They don't call that the Hines Ward rule for nothing. But I mean, and the thing is, the hit was clean. I mean, he didn't lead with he didn't lead with the crown of the helmet. He didn't lead with the face mask. He led shoulder first and bumped into him. What made it worse is what made it look like a blindside hit is that Burfict was going on for a hit on another player. He was going in for the hit on Bell while he got bumped off by Juju. And like I said, the thing is, Juju did a little bit too much. I mean, the hit was clean, but standing over him and stepping over him like he's Allen Iverson and Tyronn Lue back in 2001, the thing is, that was excessive. And like I said, with I mean, look at what Vontaze Burfict has done over the year. Now I'm usually the first one to say 2 wrongs don't make a right. But look at the players that, Vontaze Burfict over the years has both unintentionally and intentionally taken out of the game. And I joked about this with one of my boys earlier. I was like, man, it wouldn't surprise me if Mike Tomlin went up in Juju's ear on that play and said, take Burfict out of the game and I'll pay your fine. It wouldn't surprise me if that should actually happen. But like I said, I mean, you don't want to see any player go down, especially like Ryan Shazier, prayers to him because he's just now getting fit. They say he'll be walking by the end of the week. He should be back up and being able to walk by the end of the week. And by the way, that was a scary injury because he couldn't feel his legs and he could barely even move it. He said he didn't have any feeling in his lower body. He could barely move his fingers. And that was a scary injury. But you got to expect that in a divisional game like the Steelers and the Bengals. I mean, because those games like the Royal Rumble. And last but not least, that hit that Iloka did on Brown after the touchdown catch, he led with the crown of his helmet and it hit him. He pretty much hit Brown right in the face mask. And they already said that they suspended him and they fined him $50,000 and already suspended him for next game. But what do you guys think about that?
I mean, it was a rough game, and these people deserve these suspensions, obviously, but we kind of knew this was coming. Like the Bengals and the Steelers, this isn't even a rivalry anymore. It's just pure hate for each other.
Yeah.
It's like I guess that's the problem with rivalries in the NFL. You kind of see this coming. Like you know people are going to get hit hard by these defensive players, and obviously the receivers and everybody's just going to fight back because you're not just going to top for 4 quarters, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean it's part of the game, but I mean the suspensions are obviously needed.
Yeah. Well, Tom, what do you think before we get on?
Oh gosh, I mean, yeah, like Flip was saying, pure hatred. I feel like going into those games, I think all the players like kiss their wives and like hug their kids tighter because they don't know if they're gonna be back.
Yeah. Right.
Going into the field, and it's just a bloodbath out there. Yeah, and even it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter exactly like how both teams are. Like how the Steelers obviously are having a terrific season, and the Bengals they're kind of not so much they're on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoffs. But even then, it's still kind of just a competitive, just a hard, tough game. But then after the injury early on, I think that kind of fucked. I don't know. It just kind of changed the whole kind of aura of that game. So I think anything could have happened right after that. I mean,
right.
It's just it kind of made the game kind of a little difficult to watch because it just kind of shows you there's some perspective outside of football. It's just a game, but still. But yeah, it was those divisional games. Like we saw with the Patriots and the Bills. And it's just they're just close, and especially towards this latter part of the season, where some teams are kind of set for the season, like they already know they're not making the playoffs, so it's like they're just trying to go out there and win for divisional pride, and then you get these tough games like this.
Yeah, because you're right about this. Because at this point in the season, a lot of players are just pretty much trying to stay healthy. It's like, and some people, like the Bengals, they're not really playing for anything. So it's like, well, they might as well just take out some players and try to hurt the playoffs chances of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you can say the same thing about the Buffalo Bills and the and the New England Patriots. And I'm in a football group online, or specifically a Pittsburgh Steelers group, and a couple days before the game, I posted this in the group. I was like, am I the only one not concerned as to whether the Steelers win or lose, but whether everybody leaves the game 100% healthy? And as soon as I said that, Ryan Shazier goes down. And the thing is about Ryan Shazier, he injured him. He kind of took himself out, or he pretty much collided with the ball handler so hard that he hurt himself. And the thing is, we all go on about football and how brutal the sport it is, but reality, that could have happened to anybody on the field.
Yeah. If you look at the play, he did kind of lead in with his his head straight.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just like it just hit his body like shot down his spine. So it was kind of like because I saw a lot of people that were like, "Oh my God, the NFL is going to be gone in 20 years because of plays like this." And I'm like, he kind of just took himself out. Like nobody to blame for that play except him. But I mean, it's unfortunate that it happened, but it was on him. Because he was trying to go for a big hit, it looked like, and he kind of let in wrong.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not the first time this happened, and it damn sure won't be the last either. I mean, sure, like a lot of the extra stuff, like hits to the back of the head and standing over him and taunting and targeting hits, like that hit that Reggie Nelson put on Le'Veon Bell and tore his MCL out, and he was out for 5 weeks. Like stuff like that is what you need to watch out for. But other than that, I mean, like there's not really that much that you can't do in football. I mean, of course, you don't want to really try to intentionally hurt somebody, but you want to, it's a simple game. Get the ball down the field. Hit the guy with the ball. It's a simple game. I mean, the thing is, you can't really, what's up, Jermaine, in the chat? But yeah, everybody in the chat was going on. But yeah, I mean, some of this stuff is, it's football. That's part of the game. You can't avoid it. But yeah, guys, anyway, let's go on to our review of last week. Game of the week in you guys' opinion.
Game of the week. I'll let Wallace start this one off.
Game of the week. Hold on, I had a thing in mind.
Because the thing is, a lot of these games are either really close or blowouts. But to me, the game of the week, in my opinion, it had to be Carolina versus New Orleans. In my opinion, pretty good back and forth action all the way up into the fourth. It was pretty good action all the way back up into the fourth quarter until Carolina made that mistake and pretty much ended up costing them the game. And I'd say, I mean, the thing is, and that's one of the games that I selected wrong because I thought for sure that Carolina was going to pay New Orleans back for that loss earlier in the season, but it looks like I was wrong. But anyway, what do you guys think?
I think Kansas City, New York Jets was actually pretty fun. That was actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
That game was just kind of like I kind of thought like the Jets would put up some points on this defense. And we talked about it last week. We talked about how the Chiefs kind of have to basically they need a good game out of Tyreek Hill, and he exploded. He exploded, and by default that offense looked a lot better. And Alex Smith was really really good, and he kind of got out of his funk. It's just unfortunate that defense is terrible, and made Josh McCown look like Joe Namath out there in the Meadowlands. But that was a fun game. It had some interesting stuff in it at the end of it when the Chiefs kept getting called for these holds. Yeah. And then Marcus Peters took the red flag and threw it in his hands and just then left the game even though he wasn't ejected. Yeah. And then the funny part was he came back on the field and you could tell that he had already taken off some of his uniform because he came back on the field without his socks on. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
But that game was just entertaining from like just as a watching standpoint. Even though maybe both teams may or may not make the playoffs, but it was just fun in terms of the points and then the plays that are being made.
All right, now moving on. Who do you think deserves the Player of the Week? For me, it had to either be Drew Brees from the New Orleans Saints, or it had to be Russell Wilson from the Seattle Seahawks. Either one of those is fine, but in your opinion, what do you guys think?
Oh, for me, it's easy. My Lord and Savior, Keenan Allen.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's a biased pick. But that's my pick for Player of the Week.
Okay, I can understand that.
I'm going with Alvin Kamara, man. He keeps just trucking along, and the Saints are just looking really, really, really good. And I think he's going to get Rookie of the Year, bar none. But every time that guy touches the ball, it's like he's getting at least like a 10 yards a clip, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, Kamara is ridiculous. Kamara,
yeah,
really,
yeah, he's gonna break some rookie records, I swear. Because it's just unbelievable. That game. I was expecting that game to be a really good game, and it was a good game. But it's just he kept it out of reach, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be interesting. I think I really am liking the Saints now, especially after that performance that the Eagles put on against the Seahawks. Maybe the Saints might be the NFC representative. I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, it wouldn't really surprise me. All right, next up, the most improved team of the week. Basically, the team that didn't do so good last week, but they really did show out this week. To me, it was the New York Jets. Matter of fact, I could actually do a 2-1 with this. The New York Jets probably the most improved team of the week, and Kansas City is the choke of the week. The Kansas City Chiefs, they fell off so hard. They went from being one of the most feared teams in the AFC to losing the last 5 out of the 6 games. I don't know how the hell that happens. The Jets, I don't know if they're going anywhere. I mean, from now until week 17, it's very, very unlikely that the Jets will win out. So the best they can hope for is just, taking out somebody else in the AFC or ruining somebody else's playoff chances or making them a lower seed. But, yeah, I mean, those are my two for, most improved for the week and the choke of the week. But what do you guys think?
If we're going most improved by last week's standard, I would say Dolphins, but if we're going most improved, like, in, I don't know, like, overall, like, gradually, I would say the Packers, because they kind of gave the Steelers their run for their money last week, and then they beat out the Bucs this week, so, yeah. I mean, we didn't have any hope for them to even make playoffs once Aaron Rodgers came down, but it looks like he could come back.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that.
I can definitely see him saving him.
I think in terms of most improved, I think it was Dallas. Dallas was. I mean, I wasn't expecting Dallas to do anything. I thought the Redskins would win that game.
I did. I called that game down the middle. I said they were going to win that because they had to. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, but yeah, and then I mean, again, we haven't seen like a good high scoring performance from Dallas since the suspension, and then they finally got a really good game from the running back, Alfred Morris, and the offensive line obviously probably took offense to how they were probably portrayed after that terrible showing in against the Los Angeles Chargers on Thanksgiving, and they blocked and they run blocked and they put up a good outing. So I think Dallas was my most improved because they looked a lot different. They looked a lot different last week than they did on Thanksgiving. Choke of the week, I think you're right. Hit the nail on the head with that Kansas City game. I mean, that was Kansas City for the taking. They just had the Jets literally had like I swear like 8 plays within like the 5 or 10 yard line on the Kansas City, and Kansas City just kept getting these dumb penalties and giving the Jets like every opportunity to score, and the Jets finally did. So it's just a sad game because Alex Smith played really great. That defense, man, just terrible. I'm giving Kansas City that was my choke of the week.
All right. Now, moving on to our predictions. We got our Thursday night game between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons, NFC South divisional matchup. Flip, who you got in this one?
Saints Falcons. I like the Falcons, man. I like Sanu. I like Freeman. I like Julio, but this Saints team is just ridiculous. I feel like Sean Payton finally figured out who he wanted in that backfield with Mark Ingram because he had like Pierre Thomas, Kyrie Robinson, or however you say his name.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting there like, what are you doing, Sean Payton? Like, do something finally, please. Breeze is getting old.
Yeah.
And now we got this like super team. I don't see anyone stopping the Saints, man. I got them going to the Super Bowl, so Falcons are done this week.
Wow.
I got Saints winning it like 28-17.
So before we go on, are you counting the Eagles out? They have one bad performance.
I am counting already. Look, I'm counting the Eagles out.
Wow. Oh my God. We're gonna talk about that another time. We're gonna talk about that another time. We're gonna get to that later about the playoff. I mean, after we make our predictions, we're gonna talk about the playoff picture. But yeah, I mean, I respect the pick of the Saints. All right, Walter, Tom, who you got? Saints or Falcons?
Yeah, I like the Saints in this one too. Even though it's in Atlanta, and they're playing 2 times in 3 weeks. So this is going to be very interesting to see how they approach this game, knowing they're going to have to play in New Orleans in a couple of weeks. But the Saints look so good, and they're not giving me any reason to doubt them. Going back to that 0-2 stretch, they've only lost one game to a good Los Angeles Rams team, and that was a close game, and that the Saints started coming back in. But I just think they're going to win this game just based on how that offense is looking and how that defense is not as bad as it was during Rob Ryan's years of being a defensive coordinator for that team. It looks really it looks solid. It looks solid. It looks strong enough to weather a storm. And the Falcons are coming off a really subpar game against the Vikings. I don't know if they're going to get that 200 yard plus game from Julio that's going to keep them in this game, because I just think Breeze is starting. Breeze is having probably his. It's interesting because Breeze is probably having his worst statistical year.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to throw like high 30s in terms of touchdowns, and he's not going to sniff 5,000 yards, but he's still like he's managing a little bit, and he's got Michael Thomas and Lee and these other receivers. It's just the running back. It's just he finally has a good run game for him to support it. So I like the Saints in this game. I'm gonna go Saints. It's gonna dull game again. I'm gonna go probably Saints 30, Falcons 23.
All right. Now, me, I actually kind of got this being a close and competitive game. The thing is, I'm kind of on flip side. It's like I like the Falcons, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Falcons actually did win this game. But I mean, the Saints. I mean, offensively, they are a juggernaut. They're playing like world beaters right now. I mean, we're getting hints of the old Drew Brees, and I mean that 1-2 punch with Drew Brees and Kamara. I mean, Kamara is a damn juggernaut. He's a machine. I swear, like he's half man, half robot or something. And the thing is, like, it was. I mean, the thing is, both of these teams have the potential to put up 28 points or more. But I mean, the thing is, who it might come. I mean, the thing is, if it is a back and forth game, it might very well come down to that. Whoever has the ball in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. And the thing is, if the ball is in the hands of the Saints, I like the Saints better because, I mean, the thing is, because we've seen what happened. I mean, the thing is, the Falcons struggled with the Vikings at home. So, what do you think that the Saints are gonna do? I mean, like I said, I like the Falcons, but I mean, you know, I'm not going to. I'm not going to bet against them. I'm not going to bet against New Orleans.
To give the Vikings credit, they have a really, really good defense.
Yeah.
It's not too far fetched that they struggle. Xavier Rose is nice.
Yeah, definitely. But if you ask me, I actually got this. Like I said, I got it close, but give me the Saints 31-28.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's probably within a 7-point game. It's a divisional matchup. We talked early on in the show about these divisional games being like tough games. So it's gonna. I think it'll be within a touchdown. I think.
All right. Next up, we got the Indianapolis Colts going up against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are home in this game, and they just came off of a devastating loss from the Patriots. But they don't even know if Tyrod Taylor is a certainty for next week. But I mean, the Colts. Let's face it. The Colts are a shell of their former self, and the Bills' defense is gonna have Jacoby Brissett running for his damn life. As much as I hate to say it, and the thing is, Jacoby Brissett is a talented quarterback. He just doesn't have anybody to block for him. His line is terrible, and the thing is, and Frank Gore even gives them their offense half of a chance. And the Colts defense, don't make me laugh. Short, sweet, and to the point. I got the Bills by 9 points over the Colts. Flip, who you got?
Definitely Bills in this one. I mean, if Peterman plays, they have a chance to lose this game. it's pretty obvious. I'll say this: if Tyrod's playing, I got the Bills winning. If Peterman's playing, I got the Colts winning. I'll say Colts by 10 if Peterman's playing. Bills by 10 if Tyrod's playing.
Right. I mean, I'll buy that. You know, I'll be sold on that. Wazatile, who you got? Colts, Bills.
Hey man, what y'all said, Flip took my word right out of my mouth. I was literally saying, if Tyrod plays, it's the Bills' victory. But if Peterman plays, I mean, the Colts might get another win because like he was so trash. Unless they completely change the game plan when Peterman's in the game, and they try to prevent him from throwing 5 picks in the first half, and they just hand the ball off to McCoy every time. But McCoy's not. He's showing he's not good enough to carry this team by himself without Tyrod playing well. So, if Tyrod's playing, he got like a knee contusion. So far, it's not saying he's gonna be out there. I think they're maybe expecting him to, but we'll see. But yeah, I think it's I mean, I don't know if it's a 10-point game. I think it's still gonna be close.
Yeah.
Even if Tyrod's playing, I don't know how healthy he is. I'll say it's within at least one touchdown score. So I'll probably say something like Bills 24, Colts 17.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this right before we get into our next prediction. If Peterman plays and the Colts lose, everybody on the Colts deserve to get their asses fired. The coaches, players, offensive coordinators, even the damn owner, everybody deserves to get fired if Peterman goes out there and lights up the Colts. But I'm not gonna hold my breath on that, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick to my prediction.
Hey man, Jim Irsay's DUI mugshot's gonna be on Monday morning, dude. After that game.
Oh wow! All right, next game. Ooh, another divisional matchup. The Dallas Cowboys going up against the New York Giants at MetLife Stadium. Flip, who you got?
Look, man, I don't even care if Eli's playing. They don't have a coach. They're not
Yeah, I know.
GM. Shoot, I'm sure they don't even have an owner at this point or a fan base. Let's be real. The Cowboys have to win this. Like, I don't care if it's at the Giants Stadium. They have to win this game because you can't lose to a team that doesn't have a coach, and Eli is demoralized because he just lost his little record, and he's probably sad that Geno Smith started over him. So
that Giants locker room really is imploding. But I'm gonna go ahead and say what Stephen A. Smith said about the Dallas Cowboys. When it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, what can go wrong will go wrong. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys actually did lose this game at home. When the Giants at home. But I'm not gonna hold my breath on that either. I'm just holding on my prediction. But what's your final score?
I got the Cowboys winning by 13. We'll say 13.
You know what? This doesn't even surprise me. But Walls Top, who you got? Cowboys, Giants.
No, it's crazy because I'm looking at the line right now, and the Cowboys are only favored by 4, even with everything the Giants are going through. That's crazy. I agree. I looked at this matchup, and I'm like, I mean, the Cowboys have so much more to play for, and the Giants just had such a demoralizing season. And now, I don't know if the coach firing is going to galvanize and make the team play better. I mean, we've seen that happen. I don't know if they just got the stink of McAdoo off of them, and they're gonna, and maybe Eli comes back, and the team kind of rallies around Eli. That could very well happen, but I don't think that the team is definitely should not be good enough to beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys should at least win this game, but I think the Giants, in true NFC East fashion, are going to keep this game close, and Dallas is going to let them keep it close. But I think it's probably like a field goal game. But I think the Cowboys will still edge it out. I'm going to say Cowboys 23, Giants 20.
Now, I mean, even with them not having a solid coach, a steady coach, and Eli playing like trash and a shell of his former self, I actually kind of have this being a close game too. Now, the Cowboys, with all their weapons, I mean, the Cowboys are kind of supposed to win this game. But like I said, the Cowboys, I mean, sometimes the Cowboys just have that string of Cowboys bad luck. I don't know what the hell goes on with them sometimes. Because they lose games they're supposed to win, a lot of the time. But they did pretty damn good work against the Redskins last week, and I actually did pick them to beat the Redskins. And the reason why is because they have to. If they didn't win that game, they pretty much didn't have a choice but to win that game. And if they didn't, they could pretty much forget about the damn playoffs. And it's already safe to say that they're not going to win their division because, I mean, even though they lost to the Seahawks on Sunday, they pretty much already got the NFC East locked up. The Eagles do. The best they can hope for is anywhere between third and sixth seed. But this game, there's no reason why the Cowboys shouldn't win this game. So I'm going to give it to the Cowboys by 8 points. Next up, the Detroit Lions, a dark horse in the playoff race, going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that at this point doesn't really have anything to play for in their division. Matt Stafford when he's on because he even did, I mean, the thing is, like, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that the Vikings were going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC North, I would have laughed at you. I'm like, it ain't no way in hell that the Vikings are going to be ahead of the Lions or the Packers. I mean, like, it's been some crazy shit that happened this year. I mean, it really has. But, I mean, the Detroit Lions, they are one of those solid journeyman type teams. It's like, okay, if you can get past them, you can get past most teams in the NFL. The Buccaneers, I mean, they started pretty good out of the gate, but they ran out of juice. I mean, it's like they don't really have anything that makes me think that they can beat an elite team, especially going forward at this point in the season. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to the Lions by 9 points. Flip, who you got? Lions, Bucks.
I don't like this Bucks team. As much as I don't like this Lions team either, I feel like they can beat the Bucks. So, kind of want to edge it to the Lions, but I feel like it's going to be a close game. Like, something like Deshaun Jackson decides to have, like, some breakout game and smoke, what's his name, Darius Slay?
Yeah, Darius Slay.
Yeah, I'm gonna edge it out to the Lions by maybe 6 points.
Wow. All right.
Even that Bucks.
Walls top. Who you got? Bucks Lions.
What are you saying? We're gonna say what?
I said even at the Bucks home, I still got the Lions winning by 6.
Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like the Bucks in this spot.
Really?
I kind of do actually. I think Jameis is actually. He played. I think he played okay. I think he played halfway decent. This past week. I don't know if it's just all the time off to kind of recover, or whatever, just helped him play better. But I think he played one of his better games this season last week. Um, and Stafford, had his hands. He had his hand stepped on by Terrell Suggs. His hand is not broken, but it's very bruised and such. So he had to get out of the game last week. I don't know about his health. I don't know about the health of the running back Abdullah. I don't know if he's going to be in this game or not. Even with Muscle Hamster not playing, you still have Jeffries Rogers, but I think they relied heavily on Jameis last week. But if they get Doug Martin back, they'll do more of a balanced approach. Neither team defensively really kind of gives you much pause to be kind of frightened. But I mean, there's more. Both teams have their kind of playmakers. Obviously, Marvin Jones Jr. on the Detroit end, and Evans and Deshaun on the Bucs end. So I just lean. I look at both teams offensively, and I'm just like, I think the Bucs have more receivers in a tight end with Cameron Brate throw to. I kind of even and at home, I kind of like the Bucs in this game. I think even though Detroit has everything to play for, there's still kind of a chance that they can get the playoffs. I just that showing against the Ravens was kind of very, very telling. Like the Ravens flat out put the whooping on them.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's demoralizing. You could say maybe they'll come back and be more motivated, but play better in this game. But I kind of like Jameis Winston to have a good game in this. For whatever feeling, I have a weird feeling about it. I like the Bucs 24. I'm gonna say Detroit 17.
Wow, going against the grain on this one. I can respect that. I mean, we gotta have one underdog pick so far, but yeah. All right, next game we got another AFC West divisional matchup. Oakland Raiders going up against Kansas City Chiefs. Now, do you guys see a clean sweep for the Raiders, or are the Kansas City Chiefs going to get their revenge? With the way Kansas City has been playing lately, they have been so inconsistent. I mean, the thing is, who are they? Because they don't. It seems like they don't have an identity. It seems like, what they did was what was working for them at the beginning of the season. It seems like a lot of teams got hip and got wise to it, and they got exposed. Either that, or the Chiefs just flat out ran out of gas. But and the Raiders, the thing is, the Raiders, I mean, in the AFC West, it really is a horse race right now. And the thing is, this game right here, it really could make all the difference into who gets that first seed. I mean, I don't know who's favored in. Hold on, wait. Let me check to see who's favored in this game right now.
Kansas by 4 right now.
Yeah, Kansas City is favored by 4 points right now. I'm looking it up on NFL.com. Like I said, it's hard because everybody is on the Raiders is healthy, and it seems like the Jack Del Rio will have a decent game plan for the Chiefs, even though they had a barn burner of a game last time. That's probably one of the most exciting games of the year because it was so damn close. I mean, how many times did they get flagged in the end zone? How many penalties were it? Before the game finally ended, 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, about 5 of them.
Yeah, at least 4. But yeah, I see. I mean, I don't see the Chiefs actually going out there and smacking them in the mouth, even though it's an Arrowhead Stadium. But I actually do like the Chiefs in this a little bit more than the Raiders. But like I said, I mean, in the AFC West, it really is a horse race. One game at this point can make all the differences to who wins this division. But I'm gonna take the Chiefs in this game. I'm gonna give it to them by 6 points. 27-21. Flip, who you got?
Man, look. I don't want either of them to win it. Let it end in a tie for all I care. But let's be honest, because I've been saying this for weeks and weeks and weeks. Chiefs were not who we thought they were.
Right.
I kept telling y'all, I was like, hold on, I'm a little skeptical of these Chiefs. Even though they're 4-0, they're 5-0.
But they ran into the Steelers. They ran, like I said. I mean, you guys can argue whether or not that as soon as they ran into the Steelers, they just had a bad game, or whether the Steelers had their number or not. But I mean, yeah, go on.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Steelers are a good team. So you could argue that they finally ran into a really good team and they got
whooped. But they lost the worst team. I see what you mean. I see your point because they lost to worse teams than the Steelers.